Yo. What's up, YouTube? Poor.Mans.Podcast back with another video. Today is going to be a live panel, okay? I have 5 of my closest friends, 5 of my closest teammates with me. We're going to be talking about some red pill, some red pill stuff, red pill conversations. We're going to be asking the ladies some red pill questions and see what they got to say. First, when we start, I'm going to have everybody introduce themselves. They're going to give name, they're going to give age and relationship status. Let me go ahead and show y'all the panel. What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all?
What up, man?
We're missing Lindsay right now, but she said she's gonna get it all together. She's having some technical difficulties, so don't worry about it. She'll be in. But Brittany, go ahead and introduce yourself. Give your name, your age, and your relationship status. Going on to Jasmine. We'll go down to Dimitri and then Akia.
Alrighty. Hello, everyone. I am Brittany. I am 25 years old and very much single.
Hello, I'm Jasmine. I'm 25 and confused. Not just me, I'm single.
Oh, is it me? Oh, okay, my bad. What's up, y'all? I'm Demetrius. Y'all probably seen me on the show before. I'm 26 and I am single as well. So,
and my name is Akia. I'm 23 and I'm single.
All right, so everybody, give a round of applause for the panel today. Give everybody a round of applause.
I heard that cat thing. Who was you talking to?
To Dimitri.
Bro, get out of here, fool.
That man always in a relationship.
I'm dead.
But let's go ahead and get right into it. Because this is an age-old question. I know Demetrius heard this question before. He's been on the channel before. But I don't know if the ladies have heard it. And I want to start with Brittany giving her answer to this question. And it's going to go in the same order, counterclockwise or clockwise. And let's just hear what you have to say about this one. Money, looks, or game? What attracts a woman first?
Looks. And
why?
Because first I got to be attracted to you before anything else.
My bad, Britt. Let me go ahead and clarify. Why do you feel like that's ahead of all the others? Is basically what I'm saying.
Because one, I'll figure out if you have money. After we have a conversation, for us to get to that conversation, I have to be attracted to you. I have to think you look good for us to even get to a step 1.5.
Okay.
So this is definitely what's going to bring me to you. If you're not attractive, I'm not even going to look your way.
Okay. But this is going into relationship too now. So which one do you think is going to help also make a relationship last?
Me being attracted to you than the money.
Okay.
If you're a little corny, that's cool. We can work on that. You can be corny with me, but you gotta look good and you can't be broke. So
okay, that's fair. Go ahead, Jasmine.
So I would definitely say looks first, because first impression is key. That's to anything. So relationship too. So if I look at you, it's like, dang, you look good. Now if I get to know you and you start to act kind of funny, then your looks start to depreciate. It's like, okay, never mind. I ain't with it no more. But the looks get you in the door. Your personality, I close and I lock it.
So y'all don't think that game is gonna apply anywhere in there?
Yes, but that's not a make it or break it for me. Like, because somebody else could think you got game, and I could be like, no, I think he corny, or it could be vice versa. It's different for every person.
To me, I feel like game goes with personality. It's your mannerism, how you able to approach me. Like, excuse me. I feel like that goes into together, Your
game and your personality?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead, David. What you think? What you think is first? What you think?
I think you should ask them what's the setting? Like we at Walmart in the grocery store. Like where we at with this? You know what I'm saying? Like where am I meeting this person at? Or if I'm gonna meet somebody at? Like where we at?
Let's go at a bar.
I think they'll probably look for money first at a bar, buy shots and shit like that. I think potentially, because usually like if I see females out, they're like, oh, we finessed the dude for some drinks and like this and that, some other shit going. Oh, he got a nice car or something like that. Usually, but I don't know if it.
Okay.
But no, attraction. I can see attraction for sure. So
attraction, or you think it's money then attraction?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, go ahead.
For me, it depends.
There ain't no right or wrong answer. I'm just asking the question. Like, it feel like everybody answer like, what's the right answer?
Being honest, it's 2021. Everybody don't meet in person, so it's not gonna automatically be looks. I don't know. It ain't gonna automatically be looks for me. Online, for me, what's coming in first is your game or your personality, because I don't know. For me, I feel like you're gonna look different in person than you do online anyway. That's just me. But if we're meeting in person, the first thing I'm gonna see is your like physical characteristics. So that's what I'm gonna look at first, and that's what's gonna attract me.
Do you think that your game has more to do with your looks than people give credit for? I'm saying that to say this. Do you think that when a guy looks good, he gets a pass? He gets advantage that even if his game ain't that good, he gets
1,000%.
certain things that
because he looks good.
look good.
But
So-
at the same time, ugly dudes get passes because they have good like personality or they got good game. So
That nigga got
That's
that.
a stereotype.
He
I
got
know plenty
that
of ugly, horrible people. I know plenty of them. But when I have this conversation, I always say it's money first. Because I think that money brings longevity in a relationship. I think looks can get you a relationship, but if you ain't got no money, she's gone. Right? Money is the only one out of all of those that can gain attention and maintain attention throughout the relationship. So that's why I've always kind of felt like that question was always easy to me. I always thought that it was money. But let's go ahead and go on to the next one. What's the lowest a man could make and be in a relationship with you? I'm gonna start with Jasmine on this one. What's the lowest amount of money a man could make and be in a relationship with you? And why that number?
The lowest is the same amount I make. So
a man has to make equal or more than you?
right. Or at least have a ambition mindset of something that's going to get them somewhere financially. You know, so if he's making less money than me, but I could feel like he's starting something, oh yeah, I'll stay with him because you have that ambition mindset. You have a plan and you have a goal and you trying to strive for it, like, and you're serious about it, you know? So I could deal with that. But if you just, don't care, you don't want to go nowhere and you making less than me, it's really not going to work. It's not going to work for me.
Okay. I mean, that's fair. I mean, I don't have no whims about that. I think that's, for me, that feels like that makes sense. I don't think that most women respect dudes that make less than them. I don't think they do. I think they get into relationships with them sometimes and I don't think it lasts long ever. Like, I've never really seen one of them relationships last long. So go ahead, Dimitri. What you think?
I feel that, but I
guess you're gonna go for women, definitely. Goddamn, don't.
100%. But no, I'm speaking like as like a guy only. I'm in my past. I've probably been in a rough spot, but like I still was just, I still been up. So I guess I don't really know. As far as like, I consider myself a good looking person, and like I had like a lot of money, but it was still like women with careers that's like, all right, like I'm still with it. So I mean, I can't speak for everybody, but I don't know.
So you don't think it matter if you make less than a woman? Than a woman? Just you in particular because of your looks?
Nah. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Kia.
I'm just going based off my age. I'm 23. Not saying I'm only dating people that's 23, but people around my age, we're just starting our careers. You know what I'm saying? I'm not looking for you to be rich, so I don't have like a number on it. But just like Jasmine said, like as long as you have like the right mentality and that you're working towards something greater, I don't care if you make more money than me or less. And it's kind of weird. I have this thing like I won't say I feel intimidated when somebody's making way too much for me, but I guess I grew up so independent to where like if a guy's making a lot of money and I'm dating them, talking to them or whatnot, and they try to do too much for me, like it makes me uncomfortable. So
you feel like you be reluctant to date a guy if he made too much money?
I have questioned dating a guy that made a lot of money. Yes.
You got a problem with that, Britt? If a guy make too much money? Y'all can go ahead and give y'all input now.
I don't have any issue with a man making way more than me, but at the end of the day, I don't necessarily go into the situation with the dollar amount of how much you make. Like Jazz said, if you have goals, you have a plan, I can work with that. We can build together because I ain't the richest person right now. I'm still trying to figure my own stuff out. But at the end of the day, you can't just be just out here broke, living with your mama, don't know what you doing, you just bumming it. That's what we're not going to do. That's not going to work. But like I said, I don't never ask anybody, how much money do you make? I might ask, what do you do for a living? Then from there I can gauge, but I'm not going to be judgmental about what you do and how you make your money as long as you're making something. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to take care of myself. I'm gonna make sure I'm good, but if I need you, I want to know that I can depend on you in some way, shape, or form. Financially.
So you gonna be good if a dude trying to be a rapper?
If that's what he want to do, don't ask me to foot the bill for it. But I will support you wholeheartedly. I help you do what you got to do to get there. But don't think I'm gonna just throw all my bread into it to help you get there. We got to be equal or something. But the dollar amount, I don't never ask people how much money do you make. So it's
Yeah, okay, all right. See, but because this is going back to like we have this conversation often, and we talked about it a little bit just a second ago. But I personally, I'm not gonna give my answer first. I got to work on that. I ain't gonna try to give my answer first, right? But
I think Jasmine got a question.
Yeah.
Do you think that you could be submissive to a man that makes less than you? Do you think you would allow him to lead? Like, let's just be completely honest and be completely honest with this question too. Don't be trying to virtue signal and trying to. Do you think you could be submissive to a man that makes less than you?
It happens all the time.
no.
Submissive in what way? Give an example. I need.
Submissive is coachable, right? So if you going out a certain kind of way and he tell you, "No, I don't like that," are you able? If he makes less than you, are you able to abide by the rules that he makes of his household?
Yes, it's a respect thing. I don't think that has anything to do with money or finances. It's respect. Do I respect you as a person? Do I respect our relationship? If I'm going out here half naked and my boyfriend or whatever says, I don't like the way you're going out, I'm like, look, if this is what I was doing before you got with me, then you knew what you were stepping into. But if I've changed along the way and it's making you uncomfortable, then yes, I will do what will make you happy. That's
So
how
if you paying all the bills, you think he got a say in that?
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not saying he just gonna walk all over me because at the end of the day, first off, I'm taking care of us.
But no, there's good men out here though. There's good men out here.
Yeah, but that's a respect thing. It has nothing to do with the money you bring to the table. It's me respecting you still as a man.
I feel that.
Right.
That's
do you think that that's going to you think the fact that he makes less than you is going to diminish you respecting him as a man?
No.
I feel like as long as he's like,
yeah.
Well, in a man I'm looking for, I feel like he's supposed to lead me. And let's say we take it long term, our family, as long as he's leading us in the right direction, like I don't mind submitting to him, even if I do make money.
How do you know if he's leading you in the right direction?
How do I know?
If he's living off your money?
Huh?
How do you know if he even likes you if he's living off your money?
You would know if somebody loves you.
I know a lot of homosexuals. I know a lot of dudes that they got a lot of stuff from a lot of women they don't like.
I feel like it all has to do with the way they treat you. For real. You'll know when something's genuine and when something's not. You ain't got to question nothing.
Nah, that's tough. Yeah, you never know.
You never know when nothing's genuine.
Yeah. No, yeah, y'all right. Jasmine, did you ever get your answer? Be honest. No, I need y'all to be honest now.
Honestly, I would never be in that. I personally wouldn't put myself in a position where I feel like if a man is making less money than me and he has to be having some type of goal or something that's going to bring him equal amount of money. Because personally, I just want to be the backup plan. I don't want to pay nothing. But I want to be able to afford it. So, okay, something falls short. You can't pay for 2-3 months. I got you. I just want to be the backup. That's me. I just want to be the backup plan. I have my own setup.
Give it up for Jasmine for being honest. Let's give it up for Jasmine. Because everybody in here talking about they're going to be okay with a man that makes this and this.
Okay, so I'm trying to find my lane within this whole conversation because obviously y'all talk about men and women. All right, are we just talking about women on my end, perspective-wise? If I had a woman that made less in my household that told me I couldn't wear something, like how are we going with this? So I know
you better not let no woman in your household tell you can't wear. That's insane. You done lost if you do that. Okay, for you, do you think it matters, Dimitri? Is what I'm saying. Do you think that a woman should be submissive to a man that makes less than her?
I don't even know what to be honest.
That's just wrapping around a question. If you say yes, that's wrapping around a question when you ask which comes first, money, looks, or game.
Yeah, I feel like it shouldn't come to that unless you already agree to the fact of money, if money matters or doesn't matter. If you feel like money doesn't matter, then be submissive to your man. You didn't care he was broke in the first place. Do what you gotta do. But
making less money and broke, two different things. Okay.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. It's all a mind thing. Like it's all about what you're striving to do, what you're striving to make yourself better. Honestly.
But no, a woman should not be submissive to a man.
What'd you say, Dimitri? I couldn't hear you.
I said no. She should not be submissive to a man that make less. It's just,
I mean, it's a tough question. It's a tough question because I feel like a lot of women nowadays are getting degrees, getting education, going out and finding jobs that make a little bit more money. Women on average make more than they made 30 years ago. And so now we're in this dilemma where people are saying that men are not financially attractive, which pretty much means they don't make enough money to support the women that they want to be with. And it's turning a lot of women off. A lot of women are saying that they don't want to be in relationships with men that make less than them. But the problem is specifically, especially for black men, we're working class for the most part. So we have a lot of women that are going off and getting college educated and then having a degree that makes them feel as though they should have a man that also has a degree. But the majority of the men that they have in their dating pool are going to be working class men. So, I mean, it's a tough question. Like it is a tough question.
I feel that I'm kind of looking at the comments too every now and again. Somebody said a man has to at least make $100K. That's dead. Like,
here's the thing, Dimitri. You thinking of it in like Minnesota, in LA, $100K.
100%, yeah.
You know what I mean? It just depends. It's relative to where you at.
I'm dead.
$100K, my guy.
All right, the next question. Is it worse when a man cheats or when a woman cheats?
Woman.
I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna let Akia start with this one. Is it worse when a man cheats or when a woman cheats?
The relationship is trash if anybody cheats. But
but it's different though.
It is.
Men ain't gonna take their junk the same. And it's women when they cheat.
That should be deep. My bad. Can I curse on here, bro? My bad.
Everybody don't want
you
the what's it called? I don't know, the stigma about women, but they do use their emotions a little bit more when they go get what they want from somebody else. Men can hit it and quit it easier.
Oh, big facts, yeah, 100%.
I feel like men don't have that emotional attachment to the other person. Female do. We do.
And even if you don't have it right then, you probably gonna get that joint in the middle of you doing what you're doing.
Right.
So you think it's worse, Akia? You think it's worse when a woman cheats?
It's worse for the relationship as a whole. It's probably worse when a woman cheats. Yeah.
Lindsay, you just hopped in. What you think? You up next already? What you think? Is it worse when a woman cheats or when a man cheats?
I think it's worse when a woman cheats, only because when women cheat, they do it more so emotionally, more than like a man just thinking with whatever's in their pants. So yeah, I think it's worse when a woman cheats.
Dang, y'all making this easy. Yeah.
That's common sense though. Well, not necessarily, but shit, yeah, it is.
I mean, you go on Instagram or Twitter, you say something like that, and they think you crazy.
Well, I'm ready. I got my,
Britt, what you think? Is it worse when a man cheats or when a woman cheats?
A woman, literally, because she's gonna have an emotional attachment to the next man before she even physically does anything with him. So now she could have fallen in love with the next man and has never had sex with him. But for a man, like Lindsay said, y'all can fuck a girl and keep it pushing. And all right, on to the next, and have never talked to the girl again. It didn't mean anything. But for a woman, it's already that emotional attachment to the next person. Once you lose her emotionally, it's really hard to come back from that, because it's been steps that have built up to her even getting emotionally attached to the next man.
Oh.
And even that, I feel like women are more forgiving than men when it comes to cheating.
I think it's just because it's a double standard.
Definitely.
I think it's a double standard. We know that naturally applies, so we just go, huh?
And I just feel like men can't take what they dish out. They'll think the woman is just supposed to forgive them, babe, I made a mistake. But the minute she do it, no, F you, I don't want nothing to do with you. You're used goods, blah, 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 blah.
I think because guys know we are emotionally attached to the other guy.
Yeah, now y'all be thinking deep about that though. You don't just go over there. This been brewing. This ain't just I saw so and so at the bar. No, it's a whole you did.
Yeah, so I think
exactly.
Most men know. So I think that's why
one night and mess up. Y'all be full conversations and all the above. Look, I know how I go. Look.
Here's the thing though. If you and the difference, and I want to just go a little bit about what Brittany said there. I don't think that the reason it's more okay is because women are more forgiving than men. Does that mean? I don't think that that's true.
Okay,
I don't think that's true. And I actually don't even believe that women are more forgiving than men. I think they hold on to different things. I think it just depends on what it is.
Okay, explain deeper. Go deeper for me.
But I'm just saying, okay. Just with the cheating thing in general. For the whole forgiving thing, I got to think of an example first. But just for the cheating thing in general, a man could go out and he could cheat on a woman and still be willing to die for that woman. If a woman go out and cheat on a man, it's over. It's done. That is no coming back from that. The relationship is over. Also, a man, when men cheat, is just based on the fact that it's sex, and I think we know that innately. When women cheat, like you said, it's a whole process. Women are going. You didn't met this dude. You've been texting him. You didn't met up with him a couple times because you probably ain't gonna give it up on the first time. Hopefully, you'll give it up on the first time. But so you done met up with him a couple times at night. It's been 2 a.m. and I've been seeing your phone flashing and I'm thinking something else going on and you texting this other. That ain't usually how men get down when we cheat. When it happens, it's just the spark of, it's just the spare of the moment thing. All right. So, but just going back to the point I was making with it just being different between men and women. Women have the ability to go out and get pregnant by another man and bring the baby back into the house. You know, that's very exclusive to women. If a man does that, a woman knows that the child is not hers. But if a woman does that to a man has no way of knowing that the child isn't his. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
So like just that in and of itself, I think has its implements. I think historically speaking, we didn't have DNA tests, so people just, like they didn't. If you was in the hut with Tutu and you had a baby or you got pregnant, we didn't have no DNA test back then. So the only way you could you could kind of make it so that your woman wasn't going out and getting pregnant by another man that you had to raise a baby for 18 years was to hold them responsible if they were to cheat and make it so that there's more societal pressure not to cheat for women. So I think it's just one of those things that's kind of natural. Next question. Would you rather have a monogamous relationship with a man that makes an average? Would you rather have a monogamous relationship with a man that makes an average amount of money? Or would you rather share a man that has $100 million?
Give me the average man.
Sharing is
just for me. I can't share. I'm not sharing. That's just point blank, period. I will take the average regular man that I love, that loves me, that I know is just for me, than to be out here sharing a man. No, can't do it. Never have, never will.
I feel that's making a cult.
I'm not about to be out here being no sister wife.
It's polygamy, Jasmine.
I know what it is.
Go ahead though, Jasmine. So it's a no for Jasmine too.
Oh, it is a no, a definite no.
Is that honest though? Because the average wage for a black man is $45K.
Okay, it's not about how much money you make; it's about how you spend your money.
Oh man, $45K.
It's about how you spend your money. I'm telling you.
Now somebody said Drake's on the line for you.
I don't see it.
Go ahead, Dimitri.
Hold on. If you have kids with a man who you're not with, you're in a polygamous relationship.
Yeah, if it's a polygamous relationship, but from what it seems, a lot of women are more okay with that. I mean, you got Future got 7 baby mamas. That's polygamy.
That's them.
Yeah. I don't got no kids. I don't got no man, so I don't have to worry.
Okay.
I don't have to worry about none of that right now.
Go ahead, Akia. Would you rather share a man that has $100 million, or would you rather be with a man that has an average wage?
You already know. I'm not sharing nobody. I am selfish, and I don't believe in polygamy at all. Like, that's just a personal belief for me. It's not even got nothing to do with the money. I'm not about to be with nobody else's. Just me and my man. That's it. And it leaves it less complicated.
So if y'all really believe that, why y'all ain't got no boyfriends? Why y'all ain't all in relationships and fucking engaged and all that other?
Because everyone likes to share.
Like I said, it's about how
baby mamas.
at the end of the day, it's about how you're getting treated. If you're not getting treated right, you gonna know that judge, and you're not gonna stay with nobody that's not treating you right. That's been the problem for you. Nobody's sincerely, genuinely loving you the right way.
So y'all feel like just out in the dating market in general is just not great for women. There are a lot of men that
I say I'm picky for one. The slightest thing could turn me off. You know, if your legs is longer than your upper torso, it's a no for me. You're not proportional. You know, it's like the slightest. You know, if you're shorter than me, it's a no. And I'm not that tall, so I feel like that's not too shallow. But I'll give it. I may be a little shallow. I'm a little too picky, and that's probably the reason why I'm.
Why you hate short men? What's wrong with short men?
I don't hate short men. I hate men shorter than me. I think that's a big difference. Big difference.
Big difference.
Big difference.
What if he got that bag on him?
What if he got that what?
That bag on him. What if he got that cash?
Right, because Kevin Hart look good. Everybody think Kevin Hart attractive now. I guarantee you, back when Kevin Hart was in high school, he ain't had that $100 million. He wasn't as attractive. Now everybody, what's up, Kevin? See, Jasmine, here's the thing. When you picky like that, how do you feel? How do you think that's going to go later in life? Because what happens is this: women are at the peak of their dating value from 18 to about 30.
Right.
At about 30, it's called the wall, right? That's where women start to devalue in relationship value. It's just dating value. It doesn't mean you're a shitty person. It just means your dating value goes down. Men, traditionally speaking, like younger women. So now you're in a position where you have a bunch of options of men, but you're being picky between which ones you want to entertain. And there could be some guys out there that's not maybe the most attractive guy, but they're willing to commit to you for those years when you hit the wall.
That's what I'm saying. It's not like I agree with Jasmine. I am picky, but I'm not picky based on physical attraction.
You picky when it comes to accolades, huh?
Not. Yeah, but
All right.
Go ahead, Kia. What would it take? What does a guy have to have?
You already know me, Travion. Like, you have to be, number one, you have to be spiritually steadfast. Like, you have to have your ducks in order with God first. If you ain't got that, that's just off the table in the first place. And then aside from that, like, you can't be out here doing all kinds of stuff, because I feel like that's embarrassing for me. Like, out here sagging and trying to. This is my preference. I don't judge nobody else. You like what you like. I'm not about the thug life and all that other stuff. Like, I want a gentleman. And if you're not that, I'm not really looking for you. You know what I'm saying? Mm. It's not necessarily looks. You can be short and be a gentleman. I'm like, okay, but you know, that's just me.
So is religion make or break for you?
For me, it's definitely make or break.
Okay, so if a guy, so the guy has to be, because I can get with the whole sagging thing. That's no big deal, right? That's we get it.
Right.
But he has to be. You want him to be taller than you. College degree?
It's not necessary.
No, not necessary. Does he have to be black?
No, definitely.
He don't got to be black. Oh, you're not very picky then. You ain't too bad. That ain't too bad.
I'm not very picky.
But have you dated anybody that wasn't black then?
Yeah.
Okay. Because a lot of people, I hear a lot of black women saying that, but then they be like, well, all my boyfriends been black. And I'm like, okay. All right. How about for the rest of the panel? Do y'all think that that religion being the same religion is make or break for y'all?
For me personally, no. And I'm going to say that because I am also not the most religious person. I don't go too deep into religion with anybody that I really like talk to because I'm not the biggest in church. Do I believe in God? Yes. But if we get any deeper in that, it's not a make or break. You believe in what you believe in. I believe what I believe in. And we won't cross those lines. So that's what I say. It's not really a make or break for me because I'm not the most religious person. So, and I'll go into that. If the person that I'm dating or talking to, they're like high into their spirituality, they're deep in religion, I'm like, okay, I understand, but I'm not as deep into it as you are. So they can do with that information as they may, and we can decide how to move forward. If they're not comfortable with that, okay, we can call it quits, wash our hands with the situation. If not, we'll continue forward.
What if he practiced Islam?
Then that's what he chooses to practice.
But you understand that with them, the rules a little different when it comes to their women now.
We'll cross that bridge. I'm saying I've never been put in that situation to really say what I will and will not do, what I will and will not put up with, because I've never been put into that situation. So until that happens, then I'll know how to move accordingly. That's what I'm going to say on that.
Okay. Out here in Minnesota, white women, there's a lot of Catholics out here. They don't be going. Like, you need to be in the church. So, I mean, it's a tough one. But, I mean, I hear y'all.
Jasmine, you think it's make or break?
For religion, no. It's not really a make or break. I do believe in God. The one thing that will like break is if you try to like change the way that I already think.
Yeah.
That will like, okay, you gotta go. But if you respect me and I respect you, then I mean, it is what it is, you know. I'm gonna go to heaven. So.
Man, I promise y'all, a lot of y'all cap. Man, I'll just be feeling like the cap energy is because
that's what the comment saying too. I'm trying to figure out how I'm capping.
Go ahead, Dimitri. Go ahead, Dimitri.
What's he say?
Here's the thing: a lot of times people will say things, but this is not what they actually practice in their real lives. And I mean, it's just part of the game. That's just what people do, especially when it's in a public forum. But I mean, it could be true though. Maybe y'all, maybe this is just how y'all live, and it's actually true and honest. It is what it is. But we like to keep it raw and uncut. Go ahead, Dimitri. What you think? Do you think that religion is make or break?
I mean, I can't talk for everybody, but I feel like in Minnesota, it's definitely like you need to be part of religion for some of the relationships out here for sure. So like you saying, like everywhere else is different as far as like a men having like a certain amount of money. Definitely, I feel like in Minnesota is a whole different vibe. And like, I don't practice too much into religion myself personally, but like there is a lot of women out here that do practice religion, and it's like they get real deep into it though, like real deep. I'm just kind of like, I ain't gonna go that deep, but like, yeah, it's.
Man, Dimitri, I know you ain't worried about no religion. You ain't worried about no religion. You can come on here and smile.
But I mean, you talking about relationship wise? No, if I'm out, if I'm on the ball, no, I don't care about none of that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, if I'm out on a late night, no, we gonna be real about it. No, I'm not thinking about that. No. But yeah, if we talking about relationship wise, no, I don't. I feel like if they're very religious, I don't follow religion too closely, so it wouldn't be a thing for me. 100%. I'm not gonna lie to you, but yeah, no. If I'm out late night, I'm trying to go back to the crib and like whatever. Yes, I don't care about none of that.
Okay. Let's get into this one. And this because it's gonna be different. You gotta apply the different genders to whoever. But for the ladies, it's gonna be who gets the attention first. All right, who matters the most? Husband, father, or son? For Dimitri, it's going to be mother, daughter, or wife. And I'm going to start with Jasmine on this one.
Oh, shoot. Go ahead. My bad.
Okay, you said father, son, or husband, right?
Yep.
It's very hard.
I guess it depends. Like, if it's health reason, my dad, because he brought me into this world. But I would say if anything else, ooh, that's a toughie.
Yeah.
Tougher?
Yeah, because my son is for it. I feel like it depends on the situation. Can you give like an example, like a scenario of a situation? Then I could tell you who will come first.
Just which one is your first priority? It's just which one do you think is your first
I
priority?
honestly feel like that's a really broad question. I feel like certain situations will be different. You know, like if my son had a basketball game, but my husband needed me to be at some conference, I'm going to see my son at the basketball game. You know, you talking about the conference at home. You know, But if I don't know, if my honestly, I probably would just pick my son. Honestly.
Okay, your son. So your son comes before your husband.
Now, when it comes to like romantic, like we need time. Okay, you gotta go to your grandma's house or someone. You gotta I would definitely like make time for my husband. Like me and my husband, we need to have time alone. Definitely have that. So I honestly think it just depends on the situation. I just can't give like a final say. Oh, my son comes first, or my husband comes first, or my father comes first. I can't.
That's fair. Go ahead, Demetri. What you think?
It would definitely be my wife if I had to say, for sure. 1,000%.
Why?
Like I love my mother, and like, if I had a child, yes, but like at the end of the day, I think it'd be my wife because I mean, I am getting older. My mom ain't gonna be around forever, so you know what I'm saying. My wife is gonna be in my life 1,000%, and then she's gonna be the running stuff. As far as if she is my wife, she's gonna be taking care of a lot of stuff. So I gotta make sure she a priority. That's just me. So. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Go ahead, kid. Which one do you think? Which one come first? Which one is your priority?
No, who don't? No, not my father, bro. I'll be stuck. Okay, biblically, because I'm the one bringing up religion. Biblically, it's supposed to be your husband. I ain't never been married before. I ain't never had no kids either. But y'all, I don't know. I just have a real soft spot for kids, and I know I want to say my son, but honestly, I feel like once I actually get into a relationship and become married and become like one with someone, like eventually that person is probably going to take priority. But if I was to have like a kid right now and get married later, I don't know. I'm stuck between my son and my husband. Biblically, it's supposed to be your husband. They're going to be with you no matter what. You can. I won't say you can always make more kids or something like that because that sounds very.
No, that's how I'm thinking about the situation.
That's the truth, right? You can always make another child. I don't think you can make your husband. You can't make another person. Another soulmate. I'll say something like that.
That's the person you lay down with. They splitting bills and all that. Look,
facts.
My brother ain't paying no bills. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Exactly. And then your father, like they've lived that life. They've lived their life. If I had to put them on the chopping block, I hope you had a good ride.
Okay. Lindsay, you got an answer for that? You up next, Lindsay. What you think? Did you hear the question?
Yeah, I heard it. I've been in the thingy. So. Me personally, because we're talking about husband. We're not talking about baby daddy. We're not talking about boyfriend. We're talking about a husband. So I say my husband comes first and then my kids and then my father. Only because if my husband's not good, this is my husband, not my baby daddy, not my boyfriend. My husband's not good, then he won't be able to help give what my child needs or my son. He won't be able to help give whatever my son needs. So I think when it comes to that, my husband is going to come first. But if something happens to where, we're not together, then out the door he go, my son's going to come first, then my husband, then my father. So, yeah.
That's my opinion. Did you want to do yours?
No, but definitely my husband, my son, and then my child, because the husband is the one I'm making lifelong decisions with, not my kid. We're making the decisions for our child. My father has no say-so in my relationship and how it goes. And at the end of the day, under this household, it's me and my husband. Nobody else. then my kid, because of course we're raising our child together, and then my father. So my husband's gonna always come first. Now, hey, if daddy and husband don't get along, I mean, hey, this is the man that I married. This is the one I'm spending the rest of my life with. We'll cross that bridge later. But yeah, my husband for sure.
Jasmine, like she got something to say. You got something to say, Jasmine?
I'm just animated.
I feel like the hardest position to put any wife in is like life or death. Like your son or your husband, like if it's a health issue.
That's what I say. It depends on the situation.
That'll be.
I would need like a scenario, because I feel like each is different, because everyone has different relationship with their father. Not everyone has a good relationship with their father. So sometimes father, you always in the back burner, But I'm a daddy's girl and I'm his only child. I have a great relationship. So for certain things, like health wise, I will put him first. But I will always put the family that I created first with anything.
Right. Okay.
My child can't, yes, I'm going to always make sure my child is secure and safe. But end of the day, my child cannot really do anything for me. For a certain stage in their life, they can't do anything for me. They're depending on me. They're depending on their father. They're not going to go to grandpa and grandma all the time. They're going to come to me and my husband. So at the end of the day, like I said, my husband's still going to come first, but that's another reason why.
Yeah, because
yeah, I said my wife for sure, 100%.
Okay.
Huh?
No, Lindsay was about to say something. I cut her off.
I was saying, like, when you get married, you become one. You grow. This is supposed to be the person you grow old with. So your kids, they grow older, over 18. Hopefully by 18, they move out. But at the end of the day, your husband's still gonna be there. So that is why I say, your husband first, because like Brittany said, and I do agree with that. Like, I'm not saying this in the wrong way, because you're supposed to do for your kids. What else can your kids do for you until, of course, you get older or whatever, and then so that. Again, that's why I still say my husband.
See, how I look at it is, like, even now, like, I'm not around my mom 24/7. And, like, if I had a child, like, if I were to get married, I'm marrying a person for a certain reason. So, like, I'm marrying her because she's taking care of things and, like, a lot of stuff with that. So, like, if I'm prioritizing her and, like, making sure whatever, she should make sure everything else is good, usually. Because if I'm not prioritizing her, then, like, everything's just going to be whatever. Because if I have a daughter, I'm not gonna really know how to raise my daughter, I would say. So like I would kind of lean on her a little bit to make sure my daughter know to do certain things, because I'm not gonna know what to really tell her. I don't have periods and stuff like that, so I can't really, so if I'm prioritizing my wife and she doing the right thing like she should, everything else should follow suit. So like that's how I look at it. But like as far as like my mother, I'm not with my mother 24/7. I'm a grown ass man. So like, I love my mom, but at the same time, it's like I don't see my mom every day usually. So
yeah, you gotta live.
We gotta go play with her, eat, all the above. You know what I'm saying? So it's just it's definitely my wife, 100%.
I completely agree. I would say my wife too. But let's go ahead and get into these donations. All right, we got who's this? Hey dot 0. Shout out to everybody on the live podcast. Also the host. I really appreciate you, Hey dot. Jeremy. Got another donation. These answers are full of it. Even the dude, don't let you get away with all that cap. I can smell the BS all the way from Austin, Texas. All right. I hear you, Jeremy. I hear you. Thing is, I can't tell people they wrong about their answers. If that's what they want to answer, that's what they want to answer. It is what it is. Hold on, let's get into this next one. I'll find it. Hold on, where you went?
I want to say one more thing.
Go ahead. You go ahead.
So when you're choosing between the three, you also have to think about like your personal needs. Like, everybody was talking about like financial needs and who supports what, but like emotional needs too, or physical needs. Like you don't go to your child or your parent for those kind of things. You don't crave their affection for like, I don't know, let's say you just having a super bad day, you just want to come home to that person. That person may not always. Well, for me, it probably won't be my parent or my son. I would probably want my husband there to comfort me.
Oh yeah, I think that my wife is gonna come before anything for the rest, and we made a commitment to each other to do that. So that's what's gonna be
100%.
done. But I get it though, because I'm a man. So my attachment to my mother as a man is just gonna have to be different. You know what I mean? Now that I got a wife in my life, like, but as a woman, having a father that took care of you for so long and made sure you was good, and he's always gonna be the man that's there for you for sure, no matter what. Because if we completely honest, divorce rate is at 50%. I mean, it's up in the air nowadays. But your father is definitely gonna be with you. So we got a big baller. Big baller. Okay. For me, it's 1 daughter, 2 wife, 3 mother. And I expect my wife to have our child first, her parents second, and me third.
That's interesting.
That's interesting. That's D Train Fitness. I appreciate you, man, for the super
But
chat.
see, I like that because I like that.
Sounds like vows are pointless to women. The man on the panel didn't hesitate. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. All the dudes was like, yeah, we got to put our wives first. The women was like, some of y'all was like,
I said my husband first. I ain't have to hesitate about that.
I got this one here. This is an age-old question, right? And this one's been popularized by the red pill community. It's been out there. It's been circulating. A lot of people a lot of people didn't have their opinions about this question. We know that men come out, they protect and provide, right? And that's what we're expected as men to do. That's what we bring to the table. What do women in 2021 bring to the table?
Are you saying women as a whole?
Yes, in 2021.
To be honest, very little.
Problem.
Very little.
If we've been for real.
Because they want the man to
Not me though. Y'all be safe out here. Not me though.
give very little. So I can say in 2021, most women don't have a lot to really bring to the table.
As long as Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion is idolized, ain't shit.
Yeah. Because a lot of younger girls now, they look to social media. They're on Instagram. They see celebrities and all these Instagram models living this lavish life, and that's exactly what they want. But it's like, what else do they have to give? They're pretty. They got a fat ass, but what else? How is their personality? Do they have goals? What do they have going for themselves? What's the next?
Hey, look, a fat ass is good if you do it the right way.
Like I said,
it matters.
And all of them don't have much to bring to the table besides their looks. If we're being honest, you could tell getting on social, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, OnlyFans.
So what do you bring to the table, Britt?
I'm supportive. I am caring. I am loving. Now, I might not have all the money in the world to give you, but I'm going to be there for you. We're going to figure out how to get through each step, A through Z, together. Now, of course, whoever I'm dating, I have to learn everything there is to know about me along the way. I can't sit here and tell all y'all on here that, oh, yes, I'm the most faithful, love. The person that I'm with is going to have to be the person to dictate the person I am, my morals, what I want out of life. And I'm going to just have to prove that to them over time. What I say don't really mean much if I don't got no actions behind it. That's how I look at it. So what I tell to you right now, what I got to bring to the table, everybody up here could be like, she lying. But nobody will know until they actually get to know me or we're in that situation, dating, whatever the case may be.
What you think, Jazz? What do modern women have to bring to the table to men? Why would a man get married nowadays?
Nowadays, just from, I really don't know, because there's a lot of young people starting to get married. Like they're having the kids first, and then they get married. Now I don't know what's going on with the mindset as to reason why they want to do it. Personally, it's fine because it happens. But for me, I'm very much like, I guess you could say old school. Like I 100% want to be the housewife. I want to cook. I want to do the cleaning because, like I said, I want to be the back burner, not the back burner, the backup. I want to be able to provide when my husband is lacking or if he just needs a rest, But I also want to have my own money. I do not want no allowance from my husband. Because then that's like a control thing that a man will have if he has to pay for everything and he has no choice but to give you money so you could get what you need. I'm going to get what I want.
Hey, you need to post that on Facebook because a lot of women I've been out here dating, look, my pocketbook hurting. Look, you need to go ahead and make a post, videos. You look, start your podcast, something.
I personally do not want to work. Like, I want to do real estate, have money coming in, I have passive income, but I do not want to clock in, especially if I want to have kids, because I want to be there emotionally. And sometimes when you're working, it's kind of hard. And then if a man is working, it's definitely hard because the emotional side and the mental side. So I want to be that, I'm good because I'm always home or at the spa with my money,
What if I want to sit at home and relax though? Can that be?
Like I said, I could be the backup. Like I've said,
I don't want to work either. I do not want to get up tomorrow morning.
You better have some money coming passive too. You don't have to work as long as if you're doing something
your money work for you.
That's bringing money in and you don't want to clock in, that's fine.
What if I stay home and clean though? Like I'm saying, like what if I just want to be at home?
Are you still bringing in money?
Nah, I'm talking. Look, you get.
Then we're not being.
I'm not trying to go to work
nobody unless they make equal to her.
Look, I'm hearing you 100%, but I'm not. I'm talking like I'm old as hell. But at 26, like, I want to sit my ass at home. Shit.
I feel you 100%. I feel you 100%. But you gotta put something in so that way you get some type of passive income because you gotta survive. How you gonna survive?
What if I'm putting in? So say if we had children, like what if I'm putting in as far as taking care of the kids and stuff? Like what if I'm doing all that stuff? Like why?
With no money.
We mean how?
It's crazy because men are always expected to do it. Like I have conversations with women. I have conversations with women that say that they don't want to have kids, and I'm like, so what do you want to do? You don't want to work. You don't want to have kids. You don't want to cook. You don't want to clean. You feel like women should have to do those. I'm like, what do you want to do nowadays? Like, what are y'all?
I just like you have to have balance. And a lot of people don't have that. You can have the family. You can have the lifestyle you want, but you need to know how to balance it all. And knowing how to prioritize. That's where you get a little lost when you don't know how to find that balance or you don't have someone to be able to help you balance out your life. You're not going to be able to do everything on your own. No matter how people look at it, you can't do every single thing on your own.
See, I hear you. And like as a man, I've been doing a lot of stuff out here on my own. Like
I was about to say,
it's hard, even though I'm a person, I do not have any kids. But I see people, some of my friends, single mothers, and it's hard for them to raise a child on their own. So I'm saying the whole family aspect is hard to do by yourself.
And I feel it, you know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to agree with Jasmine, but I'm like, hey, can I get some of the pie too? Because I'm trying to sit my ass at home, is what I'm saying. So,
I said I was making money too. You say you're not doing nothing, but just you're not bringing no money.
You come home to a clean house though.
Okay, what you think about that? Okay, what you think about that? You gonna be good with a man just?
What a man doing what?
He just staying home. He want to cook. He want to clean. He gonna have a house nice and set for
you.
You
that motherfucker spotless.
I feel like me personally, no. Listen, no, because I don't know. That's just not about to be it. I feel like you need to be out doing something. But for people, it's different for everybody. I always say, mind your household. That's what you got to do. Because some people, it works. The man can stay at home because the woman making enough money happily. She's enjoying her career. She's making enough money to provide for the whole family. He really ain't got to do nothing. And sometimes it's least expensive, especially if you got kids, for a parent to stay at home, watch them kids, save on childcare or something like that. Like, it depends. Like, I'm saying no right now, but let's say in the future, I get to the point where I'm making enough money to take care of my whole family. Y'all seen that Tabitha Brown? She just retired her husband. She's making bunches of money, but he had sacrifices earlier in a relationship. So it really depends on the family and the household. Like your situation is different. And you have to think about this. They had the conversation. I'm talking about Tabitha Brown and her husband that she will retire him one day. I don't know, but she knew to stick with him and to wait till the day comes or whatnot. I think you have to have your conversation with your spouse before y'all get married. You have to be like, oh my bad.
No, somebody else was. Go ahead.
Yeah, that was me.
Before you even get married, y'all need to come up with a plan on how things gonna work. This how we gonna run our household. I don't care about suing them and little Johnny them. We run our household like this. That's the end of the day. That's what you gotta do.
Bro, these comments getting out of hand. I just had to.
You never pay attention to the comments. You gonna be never ever pay attention to YouTube comments. You do that, you gonna always be in a loop. But go ahead, Lindsay. What you think? What do women? And this is going back to, I guess Akia didn't answer this question, but what do women have to offer today in modern dating?
Okay, so I'm pretty sure I'm the youngest on this podcast. I'm 22. I didn't say that earlier because I missed it. But in this day and age, I hate this question. I genuinely do. Because you can ask that question, but it's so many independent women that don't need no man. They can bring everything to the table. It's about, and this is a certain percentage of women. I'm not talking about all women. They could bring all that they need to the table, but then it'll be about that. That'll be, a good thing. But the next problem will be, how can a woman be submissive to a man? But that's a different story, a different, topic. So as everybody else said, like, women only bring in, sex or something like that. Or in the comments, somebody said, I am the table or something like that. That is another higher percentage of women that don't bring anything to the table. Like, all they will say is, I got, this or that. There's a lot of women that can cook, clean, come with their own money, but some women do have their own baggage that they need to bring in a relationship or whatever. So it's just about who you're talking about and what you're talking about, because they can bring, we got women that can bring stuff, into a relationship, but then some that just don't. And then the ones that don't, you need to watch out for. But the ones that do, you also need to watch out for, because that means they don't need you like that. Like, they can jump, skip, hop on out the relationship. So It just depends on really what you're asking for.
And how do you feel? Do you think that having a woman who believes that she's an independent woman and this and that, do you think that makes it harder for her to be in a relationship?
1,000%.
Honestly, and I'm gonna answer this for myself, because I am in a relationship, and I sometimes be having some issues because it's more so about, like, let me help you, like, let me be able to take care of you. But then, I'm like, well, I got my own money, I got my own, I can do this, I can cover myself. I was raised by my mom and my daddy. I can change the tire. I can do all of this. Like, so when it comes to that, it is hard. It's definitely hard. And that's just speaking from my experience, for a woman that's independent to just be able to push her, stuff to the side, to actually let her man come and help her. So, yeah.
All right. I could go. I know a lot of people, everybody in the comments, they probably going crazy. Like, oh, independent woman. That's it. Because that's one of the things we get into. But I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to do the whole thing.
Okay. It's real out there. It's definitely real out there, for real.
How would you handle a situation? This was a super chat, Mad Max. How would you handle a situation if their intent, or if their intention? Oh, if their intentions in the house. What the world?
If there are tension in the household.
If there are intentions in the household, I was told never to go to bed mad at each other. Oh, yeah, that makes. Well, how will y'all handle tensions in your household?
I actually saw something online. It actually made a lot of sense. Sometimes you do need to go to sleep a little angry. Think on it, because sometimes you gonna say something you don't mean if you just in the heat of the moment just running off at the mouth. Sometimes you need to go off, think about it, and maybe come back together. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's gonna take more than just 2 hours and coming back together later on that night. Maybe I need to sleep on it a little bit, because I know when
I can't sleep on that.
I'm gonna tell you now. It depends on what it is.
Yeah, it depends on what it is. I can't sleep on that. Nah.
I don't really like going to sleep angry or upset at anything. So if there's any way that I can fix it, but in a relationship, it's more so about what you want out of that you're angry about. So what do you want out of this relation? I mean, not the relationship. What do you want out of the conversation that y'all are having? Do you want understanding, or do you just want peace, or do y'all just need to, take some time apart from each other? So that is what I ask, my partner or whatever, whenever we into it. What do you want out of this relationship? Do you want understanding? Do you want compassion? Do you want empathy? Or, do you just need some time? And then we'll honestly, answer that for one another. And then, but at the end of the day, we try not to ever do that, because that ain't good. That's really not. That's just not.
We got another super chat question. If women can do everything men can do, why should men carry the burden of paying physical and financially for a relationship to succeed?
You want
That's going to you, Lizzie. I already know that's going straight to you.
because you already know.
Women are so
Look,
independent. Why have a man? What would be the need?
I don't want to say exactly, but
People don't know. I feel like people get in relationships for the wrong reason. What happened to love? Why was love the last thing people think of when they think of a relationship? Like,
exactly.
I don't know. I just feel like I don't have. If I could date a rich man, I can have 2 rich men. But if one of them ain't love me, who you think I'm gonna pick? Or for me, a lot of people ask, would you rather have a rich man that don't care nothing about you, or a poor man that really loves you? I'll probably go with that poor man. Honestly,
I'm gonna be honest with you. Love ain't working. Love is an emotion. See, the thing about love is it's an emotion.
but why is it
It's gonna come and it's gonna go. And if you're dependent on love to make your marriage work, that's building a house of cards.
It's been.
I heard you have to choose to love. Like love is something that you have to do.
Like it's a verb.
Relationships.
You have to wait. It's like being happy. You have to wake up and be like, okay, I'm gonna be happy in order for that day to be happy.
So you agree that like love should be the basis of that marriage?
I wouldn't say it should be the basis. I feel like it's a lot that comes to make a relationship work. Communication goes from just actually listening to your partner, because sometimes just talking, but if y'all not really hearing each other, there's nothing that's going to be solved, because people could take things and turn it around into their own perspective. That's why texting is like the worst way. When you're arguing, you should never text the person. You should always want to talk to them face to face. So you can see their body language. You can see their mannerism. You can see the tone of the words to see if they're coming at you like mean or they're soft. It's all about like really understanding what that person is saying. So it comes with a lot.
Love being a foundation.
Because love is an emotion and it's slippery.
Okay, why everybody want to omit that from relationships? No, it's not the only thing that's gonna keep you. But I mean, if we're having an argument, honestly, if I'm having an argument with somebody, I'm not gonna continue the argument unless like I want to understand them or something like that. And why would I want to understand you? Because I love you. I want to understand what you're saying. Like I don't know why everybody just want to omit love of the relationships and stuff like that. Because
I feel like love shouldn't be the base, because if you really think about a relationship, it's not really love, because y'all doing stuff and y'all combining a household. Like I get like you can be okay with one another, but like you gotta think about the household, because then like bills
it's yeah.
Well, see, historically speaking, marriage and unionship was based on business. And it was based on politics mostly. Yeah. So like if a king and another king both had, one had a son, one had a daughter, and they needed their kingdoms to be, y'all seen Game of Thrones, and they wanted their kingdoms to have unionship, they would marry them together, and that would bring power to both of the kingdoms so they wouldn't go to war anymore. They would have a reason to be. Here's it, like, I like the love idea, right? But if you ain't got that, if you don't see it as a business, you're not going to have.
What happens when your business partner fails? Do you just leave them?
No, because you still have love. Love is still still a part of it, but it ain't what you base everything on. Because even love itself, to fall in love with somebody, is conditional, right? Yeah. So if a dude ain't making a certain amount of money, you're not gonna love him. So the business has to already be solidified before you can even get the love. So to say that, you know what I mean? So the foundation of it is really gonna be based on if he's able to meet these certain requirements, probably financially, and that's focusing more on the business side.
Thanks.
I get that, but if I don't love you, I don't think I'm gonna marry you. I ain't gonna say yes. I don't have no feelings.
It's about how can both parties benefit from this.
See,
that's how I look at it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love you, what also can I get from this marriage?
Let's go back there, because I was just telling Jasmine, why can't I sit at home and keep my feet up? If you love me, that should be okay then. Like we
right.
should.
That's what I'm saying.
You could do whatever you want. You just gotta bring. You just gotta help. You just gotta bring some money.
But we in love though. But that don't matter. We in love. It don't matter though. Yeah, look, we in love.
No, because I don't think I would be in love in that way. If you're not if you not
What's the
taking care of
financial
yourself,
then?
because how are you taking care of yourself?
That's what I'm saying.
You're
Relationship
looking for someone to take care of you.
That's what I'm saying. Relationships is all financial. The love don't pay bills. Let's just be real now.
I would say
love
it's
is
a
not.
part of each. You need part of each. You can't
You need
have one
Here's the thing: you're gonna need some love. I'm not saying you don't have to love the person. I'm just saying the basis of your relationship is going to be business based. That it's an agreement. It's a trade. It's you do this, I do that. And if you don't have that at the beginning before you even get the quote unquote love, it ain't going. Love at first sight is a bunch of BS, man.
That's what I think. When I think of like a
It's lust
relationship,
at first sight. It's lust at first sight.
when I think of a relationship and I think of love, I feel like I will fall more in love with you in love or whatever, you know what I'm saying? As far as like us taking care of business and stuff. So if we went on a date and like we split the bill or you paid the bill or something like that, instead of me just paying the bill all the time or something like that, then I would like love those kind of things. Or just like, even if we have a family, just kind of going half on stuff like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because like we ain't gonna be together 24/7, but there's other things that go about besides love. Like we ain't gonna be kissing and all that shit 24/7. That shit just don't happen like that. But love don't pay bills. Relationship is financial, 100%.
Yeah, I completely agree. And from a man's perspective, understanding that you don't have longevity in a relationship unless you have money. See, for women, you get that little luxury of just, maybe it being about love. But for guys, we know for a goddamn fact, when them lights turn off, you out of there. Ain't no woman gonna stick around with you when them lights go off, for the most part. I mean, every now and then you get one that's real loyal, but she only gonna stick around until if they can come back on. If she realizes they ain't coming back on, she ain't gonna be sticking around for too long. We got Gary Grant. He said, for any relationship to work, never go to bed angry. Take it from me. In my 23-year relationship, we use the 10-10-10 method. 10 minutes to rant, 10 minutes to reason, and 10 minutes to resolve. Good combo at The.Poor.Mans.Podcast. I appreciate that $20 super chat, Grant. But let's get back into that. Let's get into that then. Do you expect a man, and this will be the last question because I know everybody got to go do their own thing, do whatever. But do you expect a man I'll ask it like this. Who pays for the bill on the first date? I'll say it like this. Actually, do you expect a man to pay for the bill on the first date? And I'm gonna start with Lindsay because she said she independent. I gotta hear this one.
Hey, before we go into the thing, I want everybody to know too. Like, I'm not like, for me personally as a man, like I would never want to be at home and be like, all right, let me just chill out. That's just not what I would do. Like my black ass is getting up and going to work. I do it every day. Like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like,
disclaimer.
Yeah, disclaimer. I know the comments. I'm popping every now and again. Like, I don't want everybody like, okay, this man is just freeloading. Like, no, I don't. Nah, hell no.
Go ahead, Lindsay. What do you expect a man to pay for you on the first date?
I'm not gonna say it's expected. Like, regardless, I'm gonna bring my own money, of course. But like, if when they ask, you want it all together or whatever, I'm gonna look at him. But just in case, I'm gonna have my own money, because if he reaches for the thing, or you know what, scratch all of that. We're gonna discuss it before I get there, because I'm not gonna. That just got to be discussed before we even leave the house, like, or wherever we at. Who paying for it? Am I paying for my own or what? Because I'd rather do that than be in that situation to where I'm leaning or depending on him to pay for my food, and it ain't what it is. So. Are
you going to be as engaged in that date if you know that he's not going to pay for it?
No, I'm going to be engaged if that has nothing to do with anything. Like, well, for me, in my opinion, like, I'm going to be engaged regardless. It's about whether I'm enjoying the date. If I'm not enjoying the date, I'm going to go ahead and ask for my ticket and I'm going to leave. But if I am, well, since I'm in a relationship, I just sit and eat now. But but before, it was just like, if I'm not enjoying the day, I'll pay for my own meal and I'm going to leave. And then regardless, I'm going to have my own money on me, because I don't need nobody, oh, you're not feeling it, or you're not going home with me after. I'm going to leave you with the ticket. That's fine. Go about your business.
You ever paid for a date before then?
Huh?
You ever paid for a date then?
Yeah. If I'm asking somebody out to eat with me, I'm taking part of daytime. So I'll pay for that. Yeah. That's anybody. That's friends, family, boyfriend, whoever. Like,
I'm talking about where you're romantically interested in a person. You ever paid for one of those?
Wait, say that again.
I'm talking about where you're romantically interested in a person. A dad or a brother, that don't count. I'm talking about a man would ask you or you ask the man out to date. It was just you and him. It might have been some candles, the lights was dim or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever paid for one of
And
those?
that's because I offered to pay for them, but they won't let me. And that's it any date that I've been on.
See, men, we do that, but in reality, we waiting for you to like chime up. You know what I'm saying? Say something.
If I'm asking you out,
go ahead.
I'm gonna pay for it. That's just how it is. Like if I'm asking you, I'm taking time out of your day for you to come spend time with me. Now, if you ask me, that's a different story. But if I'm asking you, yes, I'm gonna pay. But of course, I'm not saying like if you're a real man, you're not gonna let me pay for your food. But most men don't allow.
You ain't gonna let me pay for my food. that's
I'm still gonna pay. Like I'm gonna offer to pay regardless. Before you even pull your card out, I'm gonna say, it's on me. But
So would you then say that that most women say they're independent situationally? Because a lot of women are capitalists at work, but they're socialists when it comes to dating.
Definitely.
When it comes to household, when it comes to,
because they wanna see when it comes to women and independence, they want somebody to be submissive to, but you have to come with it. You can't just be like, oh, you gotta be submissive to me. No, sir. If you don't have the right things for me or for any woman to be submissive to, if you still acting like I'm raising you, like you're my child or whatever, ain't no woman finna be submissive to you. It's not even about, it's about that financially, emotionally, all of that stuff. So it's just, no. And now, like you said, women can act like they want to be independent all day, but like I said, at the end of the day, deep down, and that's any woman, they gonna want somebody to be, care for them. They don't want to be strong all the time. Well, at least I don't. They don't want to be strong all the time. They gonna want somebody to, hold them and be there for them. But you have to do that every time. You can't just be there here and there, because as an independent woman, she can be there for herself all the time. You know what I'm saying? So that's my.
Why would a man want to be with a woman that doesn't need him?
I mean, if she feels like, what you say, Kim?
She has to need you in a different way.
She has to need you in a different way.
What you personally want. There are a lot of men out there who want a woman who basically could take care of their own. And there are women who want their men to take care of them. Like it just depends on like what you're looking for. Honestly, everyone is different. Everyone views relationship differently. Everyone wants different things in relationship. Everyone see how a relationship should be differently. So
I'm not dating no independent woman. I can tell you that right now.
And that's the sentiment that all men have. What's interesting about that is that's become such a popular thing for women to say and to act as though that's true. But when you look at the numbers, it's not really true. Most women are not actually that way. They depend on men in a lot of different ways. Now, it may not be the man that they're out seeking, but it's definitely a father figure, or it's simps, dudes that's willing to donate them money to uphold a certain lifestyle, or guys that they use for emotional attention, that they know they can keep on the hook, so they'll message them when they know they need somebody to goddamn respond or whatever it may be. But yeah, Dimitri, I'll be feeling the same way. I mean, if a woman says she independent, ain't no point for me to be there, because as soon as the going gets tough, she's gone. You know what I mean? So, but Jasmine, how do you feel about the whole who pays for the dinner? Do you expect a man to pay on the first date?
If a guy asks me, yes.
Nah, be real, dog. Don't do that.
If he asks me, I do expect him to pay. But if I really like you and we're going on multiple dates, I may surprise you. I won't even tell you that, I'm a pay. I'm just going to surprise. I like surprises. I like doing surprises, because the whole asking and you might saying yes or no. It depends on who you are. If I know if I can ask you, you could be straight up, yeah, babe, you could pay for me. Or, or if you had that little macho, nah, I ain't gonna let you pay. I'm gonna just surprise you. That way you can't say yes or no. I'm already, doing it already. So
hey, Dimitri. How you feel about this situation, Demetri? I know we done had a couple conversations. How do you feel about? Do you think women expect men to pay on the first date?
No, I mean, hell no, because I mean, I can't speak.
No, man. Do you think that's what most women expect, though?
Oh, 100. Yeah, no, I think so, 100%. I think I was telling you on your last podcast. Like, I went out with somebody, and like mid meal, she was like, "Oh, I'm full. I don't know if I'm gonna finish this. It sucks that you're gonna pay for it." Okay, all right, okay. So yeah, no, I think a lot of women do expect men to pay for the meals. Not like, nah. I think it's pretty much every time.
And how you feel about that in a society where everybody wants to get equal pay and everybody wants all these benefits? You get into the club for free. Everybody want equal pay, but don't nobody want to give up getting in the club for free.
Hell no.
Everybody don't want to give up the free drink.
This world is a double standards, and I feel like people should be like, listen, that's what it is, because this world is a double standards. My sister, well, like my dad's girlfriend daughter, she was telling me that like this world is a double standard and you just have to agree with it, because she was giving like a scenario or like a metaphor, a key, right? A key is a symbol of a man's thing, and a lock is a symbol of the woman's thing, right? And so you would say a key, they could be a master key, you could go to different locks, but only one certain key going to go into your lock. And that's where the double standard comes. Like, men could do and go anything.
Yeah, you talking about the sex double standard, which
that kind of comes with the sex, but it just shows that this world is a double standards.
Right. Yeah. No, it is.
A lot of women expect a guy to always open up the doors and just being a gentleman, And then there's guys who, if you want equality, open up your own door. I could open. You got arms. Open up your own door. So It just goes off like what you generally want in a relationship and what you generally want your man to do or what your woman to do.
See, the problem with that men have with the feminist movement in particular is it seems to want all of the pros of being a man, but none of the cons. What do I mean by this? Like I said earlier, you want equal pay, but when we go out, I have to pay for you and me. You want equal pay, but when we get a divorce and I make more money than you, I have to pay for both the lawyers. So they're going to milk the situation and make it go out, drawn out in court. And then you're going to get 50% of everything that I have. You know what I mean? So we're talking about this whole equality thing, but when it comes to the benefits that women have, we're not pulling back on none of those. You know what I mean? Like when we talk about the fact that men almost are guaranteed to not have custody of their children when a divorce happens because women are just supposedly better with children innately, we don't talk about that as being anti-male. Or like men don't get to complain about that. When there's a guy with a gun and we call the police officers, which are traditionally men, you don't see women doing that job. Like, and we're talking about traditionally speaking, that's not a job that women handle. So the double standard, the reason why a lot of men are against that idea is because there are double standards, but we believe that there are double standards for good reasons. For just like you said, it takes more skill for a man to talk a woman into go into the bed. It just does. Why? Because women are supposed to be selective with who they choose to give birth or who they choose to give their womb to. That's just a historical. It just is how we're built. So men are supposed to spread their seed and women are supposed to be selective with who they give birth or who they allow to have their womb. So if you're a woman that's just out here, out and about, that's why men care about body counts too. Is because it's gluttonous for a woman to go out and have sex with multiple men. Because any woman, if you call any man on your phone, there's a 90% chance if he's not in a relationship and he doesn't think you're crazy for asking him in a weird way, that he's going to say yes to sex to you right now. While a man, you have to work your way into those positions. So it's just seen as more of a skill when a man has the ability to either look a certain way or talk a woman into going to the bedroom. While when a woman does it, it's just gluttonous. It's just seen as a lack of discipline for the momentary pleasure. Does that make sense? It's just there's a bunch of double standards, and that's I wanted that was going to be the last question, but there's just a bunch of double standards, and that's why things are how they are. It's just men and women are not the same. But there's there's an idea out there right now that men and women are the same, and we're just not. There are just more consequences for women who go out and have sex. We're not going to act like when I see women who go out and do those things. When I have one-on-one conversations with them, generally speaking, they have more of an emotional connection than they would like to admit to those situations. Now, whether that be they felt taken advantage of, or whether they felt like they shouldn't have done it that early, or whatever it may be, a lot of people like to blame that feeling on society, when I would argue that that's just your values. You have values that are innately built in you, or that you learned growing up. And when you go against those values, you feel bad. And I mean, for women, a lot of times that's being very promiscuous and going out and having sex with random men. Society and the music and everything is telling you, yeah, go ahead and do it. It's not a big deal. But a lot of people, when it happens, they feel differently about it. And it's just one of those things. I know I just kind of took over. Everybody just sitting there, just looking at me. I'm just, all right.
But going back with that, with females,
I mean, at the end of the day,
go ahead, tell me like how y'all feel about those double standards though. Like, do y'all feel like those double standards are valid? Do you feel like?
I feel like people should do what they want. If a female wants to mess around with multiple men, that is her body. She could do what she wants. I honestly feel like people shouldn't judge other people's life, because you don't know what people are going through. There's always a reason why people do certain things. And sometimes even that person don't know the real reason, but there's always like a reason behind something. So you should never judge. Just like I would say, like strippers. I wouldn't be a stripper only because I'm not flexible. But I admire females who hustle and do, because you don't know what they do, like what they go through just to do that, you know? And I respect it. So I feel like people that do things that is not like culturally right, or if women are doing something that women shouldn't do, or men are doing something that men shouldn't do, I feel like that shouldn't even be in the sentence. People should just do what they want regardless. Like, I do believe we live in a double standards society, and I've accepted that. I've also said that people are going to do what they want, and people should be able to do what they want, because it is your life. And if you're not really hurting no one, it really shouldn't matter too.
So when people judge, and we're just talking, I'll just say specifically towards the sexual liberation thing and women feeling like that's okay to go out and just have sex with multiple. So when men then go on and judge those women and avoid those women at large, do you see that as like okay then? Because that's them practicing their freedom of choice. Similar to how the woman chose to go out and have sex with multiple men. Because there seems to be like a problem with men that have a problem with women just going out and having sex with multiple men.
Yeah, and they have a right to have that. If they have that problem, that's what I'm saying. Like, you choose what you want. If you have that problem, you just don't talk to that person. You're just gonna find someone who believes that same thing, and then y'all be copacetic.
Because I was about to say, no matter what, regardless of if you want to, people go and judge.
Oh, but that's of course. That's of course.
Yeah, and I believe they should. I mean, everybody do what they do, but see, the problem that I have with it is that it's preached so much so that it's worship. It's like worshipped. It's not even like, and so many young men and women, and I believe it's destructive on both ends. Because I believe that, and there's scientific evidence to back me up, and I'm not going to go too far into that spot, but I'm trying not to be that guy. But just men, just when it comes to this situation in particular, the women that are coming up, the girls that are coming up, and they hear Cardi B's and the Megan Thee Stallions, and they see the older women live this lifestyle, they then feel like this lifestyle has no consequences. When the reality is, the harsh reality is, for women specifically, there was a study done. Basically, it converts. There's a direct correlation between the amount of partners you have, the amount of sexual partners you have before your marriage, and how long your marriage will last on average. So, and I feel like that's something that a lot of women don't know. They just listen to Cardi B and say, "Oh, I'm gonna go out and be a city girl and this and that." But what it does is I don't know if it's mental, spiritual, whatever it does. These women are not lasting in marriages. As a man, it's important to understand that that's not a good thing, because if you have a wife that's like that, she's more likely to go outside of your marriage and then bring a child into your marriage that isn't yours. So I feel like to praise that and act as if there's no consequences is very dangerous. And I feel like right now we're in a position where a lot of people are worshiping that and saying that that's okay. And I get it. Music is music. I'm not expecting Cardi B to change her music. She got to make money. She's going to do whatever it takes to make money. But Cardi B isn't allowing her daughter to listen to her music for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like, and I think that she knows what she's putting out into the world is going to have the result, but she got to make money. And I'm not judging nobody on how they want to make their money. I judge adults on whether or not they take it to heart or not, and if they take it seriously. But I just think that there's not a balance in the education. I do agree with you though, Jasmine. If people want to, because there are some women that can go out and just have sex with dudes and not care. They're a small minority. I believe that they're a small minority from the conversations that I've had with women. But there are some women that can go out and do that. There are some women that can be strippers. There are some women that can go out and be OnlyFans and do this and that and not have no care in the world. But a lot of the times, and I do videos on this, but I see a lot of women regretting those situations. And it's just one of those things that I'm like, everybody should make their own decisions, but it's going to come with some consequences for sure. It ain't going to be no joke. But
I feel like a lot of stuff need to be brought up though, or at least like spoke on for sure. Because I mean, like you said, like Cardi B, like it is just music, but I mean, we go into like social media and stuff, and they kind of follow people like that. You know what I'm saying? So it just kind of, I don't know. I don't judge nobody, but at the same time, I do have to speak up on stuff because then shit just gonna get willy nilly, and we can't have that. That's just
To you doesn't matter. And I'm my bad, y'all. I know I'm dragging this out. But Dimitri, to you, does it matter if does body count matter to you?
It definitely does. It kind of tells me what kind of person you are for sure. Because I know
women, men pay now. Whether you're gonna be honest with them or not, and let them know how many bodies you actually got, is a whole different story. But you're gonna be starting your relationship on a lie. But men care about that stuff, and a lot of women just seem like they think that it's more accepted amongst men, and that's not true. It's just a bunch of women gassing up a bunch of women. But men, all men across the board care about that. I mean, it's just one of those things. But go ahead, Dimitri. My bad.
No, you good. No, wait, Akia, you had something to say?
Yeah, like you don't find very much contradiction or conflict when like the man, like the woman is, well, the man is sleeping around, I guess. Or I just feel like a woman would like accept a dude more if they have like a higher body count or something like that. Like we never just question, oh, like if a woman had a higher body count, if y'all looked at us different. We know y'all looking at women different, but sometimes men feel like they don't get looked at any differently. They play it if they have a high body count.
I would argue, Akia, I would even argue that women like men that have a high body count.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
I would argue that women enjoy men and they seek men that have a high body count because it shows that other women like that man.
Experience is what I've heard.
I feel like body count, knowing a woman's body count and like a woman knowing how much a man makes, I feel like it's like the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Because like because I'm not coming to a woman, usually for like money. Not even saying usually. I don't come to like, for like any financial stuff, but like, because I'm looking to make like a family, all that. So I'm just saying like, if the body count is high, it just kind of tells me what kind of person. It's just like if a woman's like, oh, like how much you make, it's like, oh, okay, you can't take care of me, or you know what I'm saying. So that's how I look at it. That's how I look at it. I come at you, Jasmine. I'm just saying. They kind of correlate just a little bit. So that's how I look at it.
I would never ask a man how much you make, because like I said, it's not about how much you make. It's about how you spend your money. I more so want to know you're passionate behind just being able to survive on your own. And that can turn, and doing that, that's definitely going to turn into a high success, regardless.
So if that don't matter, what happens when you're pregnant though, Jasmine?
What you mean?
You gonna want to work when you're pregnant?
That's why I don't want to work. I literally want to be at home, so I don't have to work.
Oh, so you want to be a housewife?
Yes, I said that. I want to be a housewife, but I want to bring in my own money because I don't want an allowance from my husband. I want to be able for like birthdays, anniversaries. I want to be able to say this was from me, not from our shared account, from his like money that he worked for. But I want to be able to provide and give my husband from my own account, from the money that I made.
That's fair. That's fair. I know. I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna be tough to be a stay-at-home mom and have and bring in money. That's gonna be tough.
Hey, anything's possible.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, it's definitely possible. But all right, y'all. We at the hour and 35-minute mark. I'm about to go ahead and call it. I appreciate all y'all for coming in. I appreciate all the other panel members for coming in too, spending an hour and a half with me and sharing what they think about some of these answers or some of these questions. But y'all already know. Till next time.